theological error of his Calvinistic thinking and teaching. Boy, I bet this is going to be confusing to those watching online, because they've just kicked in and out again. Okay, so reach the truth of what he says minus the theological error of his Calvinistic thinking and teaching. Okay, Division 1. The excellency of faith, through 3. What faith is. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We as human beings can perceive only one reality, the physical. See, it's not stopping like I want it to. It's not. Come on, change. Go back. Go back. All right. See if I can get him to go back. Hey, see, it's back online now. Okay, so now that we've wasted more time, okay, change direction. Scroll. See, it's not stopping.
Stop, Sesame.
Okay. I'm just going to stop it right there. We as human beings can perceive only one reality, the physical. As human beings, that's all we can see.
Yeah.
Okay? We can perceive only one reality, the physical. And we spend our lives exercising natural faith in that physical reality. The devil does everything in his power to keep us enslaved to the creation, the physically perceptible reality, in order to prevent us from ever exercising our faith toward God, the Creator. There we go. Hey, it's going to move that time. As we have seen earlier, the unsaved have access to only this one reality, the physical. Brother Spellman, would you read 1 Corinthians 2:14?
Okay.
The unsaved have access to only this one reality, the physical.
Yeah.
But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Okay, so we have only access to the physical. Once we exercise our faith toward the spiritual, God, then we are born again with new senses in addition to our old ones. We now have access not only to the physical reality through our
natural
senses, but also to the things of God through our spiritual senses. By faith, spiritual faith, we can believe his promises. Let me go up here. We can believe his promises. By faith, we have access to his power and protection. To the unsaved, our new senses seem like just so many flights of fancy. That's why the atheists that I talked to, I told you the story before. He said, well, you Christians, the problem is you just accept everything by faith. He said blind faith. I said, no, we accept it by faith. But nowhere does the Bible say we have blind faith. We have a new sense. We can see things in the spiritual. So nowhere does the Bible say to have blind faith. It says have faith. Faith, spiritual faith, not faith in the creation, faith in the Creator. And so, remember I told the story of, I told him, well, you live by faith too. Remember, and he got really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did too. He was about ready to punch me out. So to the unsaved, our new senses seem like just so many flights of fancy. They can't touch, see, hear, smell, or taste the spiritual, so they have to believe that we are merely mouthing fanciful imaginations when we tell them we believe something exists by faith. They are stuck in a time-bound reality. We have access to an eternal reality. To them, seeing is believing. To us, believing is seeing. These two realities, the physical and the spiritual, are both real. The first, the physical, is tangible to our five senses. It is made up of molecules, which in turn are made up of atoms, which in turn are made up of subatomic particles, which according to quantum physics are really nothing but organized energy and mathematical possibilities. By natural faith, we trust that the physical reality will continue to function as it always has. Now, come on now, move for me there. We go. Okay. By natural faith, we trust that the physical reality will continue to function as it always has. We sit on a chair, believing and trusting that the organized energy we perceive of as matter will hold us up and that we won't fall right through its atomic structure, which is in reality 99.9999999 plus percent so much empty space. This wall is not solid.
Doc, did you see your spell error?
Pardon?
Did you see the spell error that Brother Jerry brought up? We sit on a chair. We don't
sit.
We don't sit on a chair.
Sit. We sit on a chair. Thank you. Write that down for me. We sit on a chair believing and trusting that the organized... See, that's not really... that's not really a physical word.
Sit. It's not.
No, I'm just kidding. Sit on a chair. And which in reality... See, this wall's not solid.
I don't know. I'm set on my chair.
Yeah, you sit...
Try to move me.
You set yourself down on your chair, but you are sitting in the chair. All right. The only reason we perceive that as solid is because we can only perceive it with our physical senses, which are limited to only a certain portion of our physical reality. It's really 99.9999999 plus percent empty space. See, I was taught that electrons were little balls that revolved around the nucleus. Now they're saying, no, that's not true. They are only mathematical possibilities of that energy level.
Don't tell me this, Doc.
Yeah, they say they're not physically real.
Don't tell me this.
I know that because you were taught the same thing I was taught. In fact, they say that really they're only in string theory, and we're not even going to go into that because you get down to quantum physics, a particle can be in two places at the same time in quantum physics. That's why...
They've changed quantum physics since I studied it then.
The two what?
They have changed it since I studied it then.
Yeah. That's why Einstein would never espouse quantum theory because he was a deist. He was not a Christian. He believed in God. He was a deist. And he said, I don't believe that God rolls dice with the universe. Because quantum physics says there's possibilities of this and possibilities of that, possibilities of this. In fact, they just, Google, I think it was, just announced a quantum computer. But the problem is quantum computers are so prone to errors, the way that they put them together, that now Google said they found a way for it to be self-correcting.
Well, you know what the old saying was about people who even believed in quantum.
No.
See, what they call the quantum mechanic,
Yeah.
that was actually calling a person an idiot.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
Really? Yeah.
Now we're talking about 50 years ago, but that's when I studied it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, because the law, the rules, the scientific rules of physics fall apart at the subatomic level. In other words, our universe really cannot function the way it does. It's impossible. That's why they have to say, I don't remember what they say
That's
now.
why the atomic theory makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. And so, because that's on the atomic level, down to the atomic level. They say the way that our universe can really only exist and function the way it does, and the percentage keeps going up. Some say that 90% of it has to be dark matter and dark energy, which intrinsically cannot ever be detected. If you can't detect it, you're taking it by faith.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you can't detect it, they say it cannot exist. But now they're saying 94%, and some are saying 96%. You know what they're saying? We don't want to believe that God holds it together, so let's make up all of this dark energy and dark matter.
That's why they call that artificial intelligence, because it ain't real intelligence.
Yeah, I mentioned that to someone. I don't remember who I said that to. I said, you know why artificial intelligence is becoming such a great thing in the world today? It's because real intelligence doesn't exist much.
That's right.
And it was at some meeting we were at a few weeks ago. Got a good laugh out of that one because it's true. So anyway, our natural faith is not the substance of our physical reality. The physical reality is its own substance. Except if you believe in evolution. You would have to take dark matter, dark energy, which can never be detected, ever. And so, in fact, if you go to Hawking, not Hawking's, but if you go to Stephen Hawking, he believed that there had to be at least, well, how many, 11 dimensions? I don't know. There had to be many more dimensions that we believe in, and the only way this universe can exist is there must be a cloud of universes, and because of that cloud of universes, ours had to come into existence. Okay, that's just begging the question, okay? Now you're saying God didn't create just one universe, he created a cloud of universes, because he could never explain where the cloud of universes came from.
Have you ever seen Hawking?
Yeah, he sat in a wheelchair, had to have an artificial voice, okay? But yeah, he was totally...
He's a quantum mechanic, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And so, but I'm just simply saying that our physical reality, the physical reality is its own substance, at least to our natural perception of it. We feel it's solid because of the way that the atoms in our bodies react with the atoms there, and we can't mix. We can't mix with it. But you know, that's funny. Jesus walked through the wall. He did. It says the doors were locked, the windows were closed, but there he stood in the midst of them. Why can't we do that then? Because God knows if we knew how to control our physical reality well enough to walk through a wall, we'd use it to murder our neighbor and steal everything he has. We would. I mean, that's humanity. Remember, it always goes to the lowest common denominator. I got to watch what I say because my wife used that one against me the other day. Well, not against me, but we were talking about something that was happening, and she said, well, that's why, because human nature always goes to the lowest common denominator. The presidents that we've elected for the last 50 years are proof of that.
Watch out.
The government the people of the United States, total sexual liberty. Do whatever it feels good. Do whatever feels good.
We elected? I didn't.
Now, that we, the people of the United States. So what did he do? He gave us a guy in the White House that was a total sexual liberal. In fact, he was, anyway, I'm not going to go into that. And so our natural proclivities, tendencies are to gimme, 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 and if you won't give it to me, I'll take it from you.
Kill.
I'll take it from you. It's just like a baby. You don't have to teach a baby to do this. You have to teach a baby to do this.
Yes, sir.
To give it to somebody else. You don't believe that? Watch a couple, 3 kids playing with a toy that one of them wants.
Oh, I know.
Why do you think all these school shootings are going on right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Another one there.
Can't have it my way.
Yeah,
So
I'll shoot
just
you.
walk in and shoot them.
Yep. Remember I said when I was growing up, we used to make fun of the Bible. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Only do it first and then cut out.
Yeah.
Really, we would. We would quote the Bible. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Only do it first and then cut out.
We said it a little differently. Do unto others and then split.
Split. Cut out. Split. Means the same thing. And so, okay, so the physical reality is its own substance, at least to our natural perception of it. The other reality, and I'm trying to, well, this thing's working. I wanted to go up. Hey, it actually stopped. It cut off a little bit. So the other reality, which we now have access to since our new birth, you must be born again, also has substance, intangibility. The substance is brought to, was brought to spiritual tangibility. And that substance is made up of faith. In fact, to be more biblically accurate, we must state that faith is the very substance of that reality. Which one? The spiritual reality. Faith helps us to transcend the time element of the physical reality and projects us to the fulfillment of God's promises at unknown times in the future. We must remember that for God, there is no past, present, or future, only an all-encompassing now. This fact can be seen in such phrases as Exodus 3:14, and God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, and on down to verse 12, I am the first, I also am the last. Well, now, wait a minute. Humanly speaking, he would have to say, I am the first and I will be the last.
Alpha and Omega.
But that's not what he
It
says.
says, I have no beginning, no end.
No beginning and no ending.
That's where
Yeah.
I am works.
I am the first, I also am. Not I was, or I will be the last. I am the last. And then John 8:58. Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Now, many of the scholars, in fact, last time I read, I think it was 40% of the preachers. 40% of the preachers do not believe in the deity of Christ, but they're pastoring churches.
I'm sorry.
And they say, yeah, I know.
Have mercy on those people.
And the problem is they say, well, the Bible, Jesus never said he was God.
Oh my.
I've heard them say it.
Never said that.
Oh,
never
but I
read
can
the
prove
Bible.
that's a lie.
I can prove that's a lie too.
Right here in this text.
Yeah, right there. Before Abraham was, I am. Not I was, I am. That means he has to be an eternal being. Existent at all times at the same time. And in all places.
To
at
be
the same-
equal with God.
Yeah. And that's why they use the new Bibles. Because the new Bibles
Throw
say
that out.
he thought equality with God was not something to be grasped at. Remember I mentioned that? I think I mentioned that last night, didn't
I
I?
didn't grasp at it. He had hold of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he already was. But they say, oh, he already was, so he didn't grasp at it. He didn't have to take it. It was already his. So in other words, what they're doing is they're trying to explain a scripture that they know is wrong.
Yeah.
He thought it not robbery to be equal with God. So Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. And they say, well, he wasn't claiming to be God. Then how come in the next verses the Jews went about to kill him? They were going to kill him. Why? They said, because thou makest thyself God. That's why they were going to. Now, if the Jews can understand it, why can't the so-called Christians understand it?
They can.
They can, but they don't want to.
No, they don't want to.
Choice. Once we grasp this fact by faith, then that makes it perfectly clear that to see with the eye of faith, one must ignore the eye of sight. The eye of sight is in the here and now, but the eye of faith is in the there and then. It is seeing through the eye of God, which is always in the present, not the future or the past. Remember, God's everywhere present, all time present, atemporal, outside of time and space, outside of time, atemporal. Okay, which is always in the present, not the future or past. Therefore, what appears to the eye of sight to be something not present, but a long time off into the future, appears to the eye of faith, spiritual faith, to be in the here and now. In other words, the eye of faith, which perceives reality through the eye of God, makes the future real and present, since to God, past and future are all encompassed in the now. Come on, move. We must do and view reality in the way that God does and, quote, calleth those things which be not as though they were. Romans 4:17b. Calleth those things which be not as though they were. When I can say, I know the tribulation is going to happen. Okay? In fact, in God's eyes, it already is.